3, 2, 1, let's get it. Hey, it's me, Elay, pronounced like LA, like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy though. And now I'm talking to you about 7th grade. Okay, now we're downstairs in the middle school because there's an upstairs where it will hold 5th graders and 6th graders. Downstairs, we stepped it up a notch. Big kids now. Hey, pull-ups, grown. 7th grade. Okay, so I can say I actually started to develop or cultivate an actual friendship. It was a little shaky though, but what isn't, I suppose? And that's my logic coming from a background of doubt, uncertainty, strict rules, discipline, sheltered life, things of that nature. So those were the terms and the guises I was going off, which were poor examples, but I did the best I could. I ended up making good friends, I can say that, with 2 girls. They both went to the same church, so I was like, great. They're already paired off. Why can't I just have one friend where the other one don't already have a history built with someone else? But what made me not deter from them too quickly was the fact that at least they were decent. I'm trying to figure out how to say this without saying any names because I do know both girls' names. I remember both of their names. And we did hang out together, us 3. But for the most part, 7th grade, I believe that's where we all started to hang out together. Now, the confusing part with me, because apparently I didn't pay attention to a lot of stuff. So it was me and another girl. Oh boy, she was tall and skinny and light skinned. The other one was about my height. I'm 5'3" now, so she was probably 5'3" too. 5'3" or 5'2". Either way, we both were the same height, in middle school. So let's just say 5'3", both were 5'3". And she was really cool too. Boy. The tall, light-skinned girl said she knew me from elementary. I knew of her, but I never hung around her because she was already paired up with some other girl. They were already best friends. But the thing is, when her best friend moved, that's the only reason I assume she started hanging out with me, because she was in desperate need of someone else, a replacement. So I kind of was standoffish about that because I'm like, in elementary you were friends with her, though that was your ace boo coon, you were road dogs, you friends for life, and she moved away. So that's history. So once again, I feel like just a replacement, another filler, so that's how I felt about it. So the tall, light-skinned girl introduced me not only to herself again, because I could barely remember her, honestly, because we didn't have the same classes and we didn't have the same class in elementary, so I hardly hung around her. I didn't even know she had other sisters. That's how much I really cared. I didn't keep up with her, but apparently she was checking me. But that's how those girls did, was in everybody else's business but their own. So that's just how I looked at her. But she seemed nice enough. And the other girl she brought along was a brown-skinned girl. I thought she was pretty and cute. So just leave it at that. And she had a really funny voice. She talked real Southern. And I didn't know what Southern meant, I don't think, until I was told what that was meant, but yeah, she was a really nice girl. So I think honestly she may have saved the friendship as far as me wanting to even be around them, simply because the brown skin girl she had some humor. She had a really good sense of humor. I thought that was awesome. It kind of matched mine. So we hung out a lot, we laughed a lot. There was a lot of things I just felt a little uncomfortable talking about because, once again, I was in a closed family where we couldn't do anything. It was strict, very controlling, overbearing, even to the point where it started to alter my thought processes outside of how I would handle myself when I was away from my parents, for fear of them finding out that maybe I could have possibly done something wrong, said something wrong, or hanging out with the wrong people. It was that bad. So for whatever reason, they always seem to find out stuff about me that just didn't make sense. So I still tried to struggle through with what seemed like a good friendship. So we hung out together, us three, and everybody started knowing us as the three girls who hung out. But still, it loomed over me, of course, that I kind of was the third wheel, because those two girls, the tall, skinny girl and the brown girl with the fluffy black hair, they both went to the same church, so that meant they still were going to spend more time together with me, have more memories and little secrets, because they went not only to the same school but to the same church. And then on top of that, their mom, their mom's already built a new relationship. So once again, third wheel in, I was going to have to build a relationship with them, and then my mom was going to have to build a relationship with those two women, and I wasn't sure how my mom was gonna mesh well with their moms, because my mom is boring, because she sacrificed her authentic, cool self for the man who is my father. So, she really changed a lot. So I wasn't sure how well that was gonna go, but apparently it went over well, because those two women went to church and loved the Lord. Oh gosh, it's pitiful how my dad operated. So we did hang out. We had a lot of fun together, and I honestly preferred the brown girl with the fluffy hair more so than the tall, skinny girl. I did. Even though the tall, skinny girl, what I liked about her is we looked alike. We both were like the same color, and we both were super duper pretty. Like, we could have been sisters, and that's the only thing I liked about it. Outside of that, I kind of wish I could have just been friends with the brown girl with the fluffy hair, because she was just really herself, more authentic. She had soul, wholesome. But I know there was no way in Hades I was gonna split them up, because that's just not my style. But I wish I could. If I had my way, I would have picked the other girl in a heartbeat. She was just really kind and funny, and even though we did not look alike, she could have been my sister, like in my soul, and that is better than outward appearance of looking like sisters. At this point, I was just really wishing I could have my own family outside of my alleged biological family, because I felt like an outcast within my family. So at that point, I just was really looking for someone who looked like me, so I can kind of feel like I was a part of something else, which that was pretty much it. But I would have chose the brown girl, the dark brown girl with the fluffy hair, over the other girl any day. But she came with the package, so I took both of them. Then the light-skinned tall girl had a whole bunch of sisters. They were cool too. But at that point, I didn't want to hang around too many people, because I felt crowded and overwhelmed, and too much talking and too much to keep up with. But at the same time, it was fun. But also at the same time, I felt isolated, because everybody knew each other and planned things. And of course I wasn't included, because they were talking about things that they did on the weekend or at their church or in the past. So I had no choice during those times mostly but to sit and listen. So I had no choice but to be quiet, and that was probably understandable. So it was a burden feeling a part of something, but not of it, in it but not of it. It was still sad. And I kind of just wanted to let it all go. But I knew I would probably be selling myself short, so I just pushed through it for that entire year and hung on to the good parts of it and wished for something more. I do have a few good memories out of there though, so I am thankful for that. I can't say that much for sure, but we weren't best friends. I tried it though. I really tried it. I even used to write it in letters. When I passed letters around to the tall, skinny girl, I would put like best friends forever or something, or your everlasting sister but it didn't feel right. But I tried it. I really wish that it could have been like that, but in my heart I wasn't feeling it. It just was something there. I mean, she was already established with the friend in elementary, and that was her best friend. And heaven knows if she didn't move away, she wouldn't even be talking to me like that. You know, it would be pointless. So here we go again. Those were the thoughts that I had in my mind. It's like, why can't I just find somebody who wants to hang out with me and not be the last resort? Or, well, since my friends aren't here anymore, I guess I'll hang out with the next best thing. So I really did try to become best friends with her, but I wasn't feeling it. And I really tried to force it. I was really trying to give this a benefit of the doubt. Maybe I'm just selling myself short. Maybe I should just keep trying or pushing forward or talking or reaching out or communicating. I just wasn't feeling it. You know, you're not supposed to force anything, not when it comes to relationships. Just like you can't force anyone to love you. You can't force a friendship to happen. But she was good company. They were good company. Kinda. Yes and no. It helped the year go by faster, I can say that. So I'm thankful for that. And I actually have more good memories in 7th grade opposed to bad. I've had some bad memories too that helped also shape my identity and how I viewed the world, and how as I got older, how boys were really starting to turn into young men because of their mindsets from liking girls to actually liking their body parts and actually wanting to do stuff with them sexually. It really changed. So I definitely didn't want to be around them anymore like that, because, you know, you just grow up. So I really was like, dang, all I've got are these 2 girls, because the guys are really, you know, they're growing on their own, and I don't want to be a part of that, because they're on a whole nother level now as far as discussions. And I felt trapped. I really did. It seemed like everybody was going so fast and I couldn't catch up. I couldn't even get on the train. I wasn't even at the station. I was on the yard. You know how you have a train station? I wasn't even on the platform. I was like in the grass way before you get to the station, you know? It was in my view, but 30 minutes away from actually touching the property. You know, I was so slow thanks to my upbringing. I was my growth stunted as far as evolving socially. It stunted really bad. I was underdeveloped, and it showed in my skills of actually, you know, making friends. I just had a lot of blind spots and things I just didn't know how to say or what to say or talk about, because I haven't experienced them or just didn't go anywhere. So I can just say my 7th grade year with friends was awkward, fun, unique, character building. I learned that I didn't want to hang out with the boys like that, but I really wish that the boys weren't talking about girls' butts and breasts and having sex with them, because, you know, it just was like, man, I can't hang around that anymore, because that's all they talk about. And they really wanted to just, it really turned into a guy thing now. But that's life. So it felt, you know, like I lost a friend per se, a potential friend and a boy, because time brings about a change. So here I go. I had no choice because life was life. So I stayed hanging out with the girls. But if I found a boy who probably was slow in development like me, I would have probably just hung out with him, like as a good friend or something. But hey, to each his own. That's life. 7th grade wasn't too bad. I did meet one guy friend. He was really cool. Oh my gosh, he was cool. His name is Deontay Simon, but I think he was dating one of the girls that I hung out with. So I just naturally, respectfully kept my distance. But he would have been a great friend to hang out with. To each his own.